Hello everybody, Foolish here with another smoke session. This time I'm out of the fun stuff, so it's all going to be Marlboro Red shorts, or not shorts, but standards, not like 72s. Lit that too early. So, right, I remember what this one's going to be about. I ain't have to check my notes just yet. How I got started smoking. Weed, that is, at least. Maybe I'll get into cigarettes too if I got enough time. I'm waiting on my friends to get back from the smoke shop to get wraps so that we can smoke. Anyhow, my friends gave me permission to give their names, so from here on out I'll be referring to them by such. My best friend, his name is Alex, and my other roommate, his name is Zeke, my other best friend. And his girlfriend's name is Shelby. I'm sure she wouldn't mind me telling either. Anyhow, how I got started smoking. I was in a school bathroom, I think. Pretty sure. Yeah. I would come in from lunch and go to the school bathroom. It was just part of my daily routine. And I walk into one of the stalls, and the door's open, so I think it's fine, but there's a kid in there he's got a cart in his hand. I didn't know it at the time, but that's what it was. It was one of those batteries that got the thing sticking out of them, like a separate cartridge that you can unscrew and a reusable battery. And I didn't know it at the time, but he'd been filling them himself with his own mix of like resin and hash that was liquefied and would burn, and it was some kind of special coil, but it was some heavy shit, and I wasn't expecting it. So I took a big long drag because I had a good bit of pride. And he took me into the library because I was greening out in the bathroom, and lunch had passed, and I'd been sitting there for 10 minutes just like on the toilet, like, no, I can't get up. And he was a good dude. He watched after me. So he took me to the library, and apparently I passed out. They had a sofa in there. I don't really remember, but I got a letter the next day or my parents did, that I'd skipped class and I got in trouble for it. But I didn't do it again for 2 years. That was when I was 14. I was a freshman. And then I was 16 the next time. And here's confession. I used to be in the JROTC. And I've taken a big turn. I'm a big I'm big on individual freedom and stuff like that, not so much the fascist military aspect of America. But I used to be into the other side, and that was a problem. I was a real hellraiser. Now I raise hell, but for the right side. But I got started with these kids in the stock room we had, full of uniforms and shit. They had same thing, carts, little piff sticks. At least that's what they called them. They had piff on the side. But that's how I got started. I'd buy them off this kid, and he got caught one day, and I had to switch, and that just kept happening. But I never did get caught, not even by my parents, until I started smoking flower. And that was when I met the same guy. It was my junior year, his senior year. Same guy that I hit his cart in freshman year. I started buying flower off him. And he was a real cool dude. He had this buzz cut with leopard print all over it, and it was real cool. But he was a lot like I am now, very outcast. And one day he moved away, and I lost contact. But you know who you are if you ever find this channel. If you ever see this video, I hope you reach out to me, because I think it'd be cool to talk again. I really do miss you, man. But with cigarettes, whole different story. I was with this girl for a long time, and I won't get into that. But she started smoking silvers just every once in a while, not like often, but whenever she'd drink, which still wasn't very often as far as I know. I don't think she did much when she was away. Anyhow, she started smoking silvers, and I hated the smell of silvers. I just couldn't stand them. I ended up smoking Newports, and this is about the time I worked at a factory, and I had a friend there named Emily. I'm sure she wouldn't mind me sharing her name either. And she would buy me these packs of Newports. Newport 100s is what I got started on. Some real heavy hitters, I know it. And dangerous too. Bad for you. But she'd buy me these packs of cigarettes, and we'd be good buddies for a long time. Then I quit that job, and we started going to these punk shows together, and I stayed in contact, and she kept buying me cigarettes, and every once in a while some alcohol, and you know, that's how I got started. And eventually I just went through the same habits. I'd buy them off coworkers. I still do buy them off coworkers. I don't go in myself, but that's how I got started smoking. But best time that I had smoking was with Alex. And that's a big reason why we're living together now. Like I said before, how I really got good friends with Alex in my video that I took in the attic, I believe. We both realized that we smoked and started hanging out and smoking all kinds of crazy stuff, and not smoking all kinds of crazy stuff, smoking and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. We only ever smoked weed. We did mushrooms once or twice too. I was done with the cigarette. But yeah, we just go around doing rebellious things, graffitiing walls and riding around on our skateboards and playing basketball in the dark and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. That was probably some of the best times I had in my life. So I'd say that's the reason I got addicted to smoking weed. And I believe that weed is addictive, not in the same way that cigarettes are, not in the same way that heroin is or anything, but in a way that once you have that foundation to build those good memories on, it's hard to break away from a solid foundation like that, you know what I mean? It's a real hard habit to break when you rely on it, and once you build that reliance, that's when it becomes addictive. Anyhow, that's my thoughts for the day. I hope you guys have a good evening. My name's Foolish. You should follow along because I'm going to be hitting the road soon. Thank you very much for watching.